Welcome back. It's still TV3 New Day, and as it stands, as of yesterday, 14th April, the case count for Ghana is now 566, and that makes us the epicenter of coronavirus in West Africa. Now, when you break it down, we have 10 regions that have recorded cases. Greater Accra stands at 452, Eastern Region 32, Ashanti Region 49, Central Region 1, Western Region 1, Volta Region 9, Northern Region still at 10, Upper West Region 7, Upper East 4, and Northeastern Region 1. We're heading over to the Ashanti region to get an update on the 49 cases that have been recorded. And so our correspondent, EVANS-NKUM, is on the line with us. We'll speak to him now. Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Bella.
How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. Well, I'm doing very well. Sunshine, Central Region morning, as easy as whatever you may think of. But within the minds of the people, it is not that easy.
I can imagine. Tell me why. I mean, the numbers have increased. Last week it was, what, 25? And then just yesterday it shot up to 49. This clearly has heightened the fear and anxiety among citizens, I'm sure.
Relatively so. But I think people, a section of the people here are also beginning to understand that the more we're able to locate suspected cases and isolate them, the good for us going forward, because demystifying this whole thing, COVID-19, and the fact that right from the onset, the government made us understand that it is good for us to locate cases, and whilst they do the contact tracing, we're likely to have growing numbers as far as the COVID or testing for the COVID, whether negative or positive, is concerned. So people are beginning to understand that aspect of the narrative, but hey, they also fear that once cases are continue to grow, then we are likely to be in for the long haul, because just last week the president announced an extension of the lockdown. And I have told you that in the Ashanti region, a larger number of people belong to the informal sector. Let's even condition the economy under the social strata, where we have the higher, the middle, and the lower classes. The higher class, I can tell you that a chunk of them are businessmen and women. And the middle classes, yes, you say that a good number of them do the public service and or in the public sector and what have you. When it comes to the lower class, that's the group I call the parasites. They feed on both the higher and the middle classes. So it is a very huge blow to the people here, especially now that they have to be kept indoors, idle and all of that. They are just thinking that after this week, there should be some level of normalization, if I should put it that way. But looking at the increasing number of cases, well, just hope for the best. But I can also tell you that people are also not happy. I mean, last week we heard this story from Accra, I mean, precisely Lord Fadama, that a case that was identified, bolted for reason best known to that particular person, because the belief is that if a suspected case is identified, or a case is tested positive and that person is nowhere to be found or go into hiding, what it means is that it's likely to affect the other people where he or she finds himself. That's what invariably means that there's going to be a prolonged lockdown, because government will have to cordon off that particular area and test or do contact tracing to be able to unravel the number of people who might have come in contact with this particular person. So people were not happy when that particular news broke out. I
can imagine. Now back to the 49 cases. Do you have any background information on how they arrived at this number in the first place?
I don't know how credible that information has been bandying around on social media is concerned, but we know that they've done some level of breakdowns. And where I am in Kwadaso, for instance, if you're talking about Kwadaso constituency, we have 2 cases. We have recorded 2 cases. They are Kumasi proper. Kumasi Metro has the largest number of cases, over 30 here. Then they have Achuma Ngwabieja, 1 case, Achuma Kwama, 1 case. Obuase, since last night, has also reported 3 cases there. I think the Kumasi proper has now become the epicenter as far as the regional breakdown is concerned. Over 30 cases, and that's not a joke.
Okay. And speaking of these cases, you mentioned last week as well that the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital had an isolation center that could only take 25 people. I know you did mention other hospitals that could also take some people as well, except I didn't get the numbers. And so at this point where we're at 49 in Kumasi, do you have any idea if there's a plan to expand the isolation center? Are there places for them to be kept and treated?
The more the cases increase, the more the challenge for the health team who are on the ground, and of course the Ghana Health Service Directorate here in the Ashanti region, because now there are only two facilities that have the isolation centers. And I told you the last time that these isolation centers were constructed or erected during the Ebola time.
Yeah.
So we have one at Komfanochi Teaching Hospital, and there's another one at the Kumasi South Hospital. Officially, these are the only two isolation centers. Now, for the other hospitals, when you create an isolation center, it has special facilities that will be able to take care of the patient.
Yeah.
I mean, in the treatment process. So you simply cannot turn any other facility into an isolation center when you don't have those facilities in them. So for the rest, the hospitals and the other clinics, we can only say that they are only holding centers. When the case comes, for instance, a typical case is what happened in Pramso Hospital the last time. When the case was recorded there, immediately after one or two testing, the patient was rushed to the Kumasi South Hospital, and I know he's still there. I'm talking about the Ivorian patient. So what the authority, I know they are doing is that they are looking for places, and the last time I checked, I know they've been able to or they've gotten some of the places, but hey, they will not disclose the location of this because of stigma. Remember what is going on in the Western region and Central region. So the moment somebody gets to know that this particular facility in my location is being used as an isolation center, believe you me, all the people there will either leave that particular place or they will stage a massive demonstration that will bring some level of pressure on the authority to think or to maybe rethink, or if you change that particular decision. So they are being strategic in a way of managing this whole thing. I know 49 cases in the Ashanti region.
Yeah.
You know, probably they might have a place of keeping these places, but they will not disclose the location of these places.
All right, then we'll wait and get more updates on that. But since I've been talking to you, I can count a number of people going up and down the road. And you are saying that as a result of the increase in numbers, people are becoming a bit more aware of the situation. But I see so many people behind you still going about, their duties. Have you inquired from some of them why they are still maybe flouting the lockdown directive? That's if they are not essential service providers.
Okay, so let me tell you what is happening here, where I am in the moment. Just a few meters away from where I am, last week the buffer stock delivered some food items. So you can see the barrier over there, just behind the barrier, a few meters behind the barrier. They are sharing some food there. So that's why you see a lot of movement. But I can tell you that movement in the Ashanti region has been restricted. Security has been heightened. If you go to the central markets, what used to be the case, I mean, some days ago, now there's a different picture at the moment. You go there, and that place is now under the control of the military, literally, because they are manning all the barriers there. I can tell you that movement has been restricted. Now, at night, it's more or less like a curfew. Unlike 2 weeks ago, where you see people still hovering around their communities and what have you. This time around, a different case at the moment. Movement has been restricted because of the increasing number of cases. And I wouldn't be surprised that this week we are not going to see a number of people walking around and about as far as the Kumasi metro is concerned, and even other places. We are going to see more quiet environment
Okay.
as far as Ashanti region or Greater Kumasi is concerned better.
What about the Kumasi Central Market and the other markets that, were closed? Because I do understand that, again, even though we have some satellite markets, those are some of the major markets that people buy their goods from. What's the update on that? Are the market women ready to comply to the social distancing directive? Are they going to give them the opportunity to come back to the market?
The market women have no options at all. I mean, you either adhere to the measures and comply with the directive from the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, or you stay out of business. And that's very simple. And last week, a special cards were given to them, and these cards were identified by colors, unique colors. So I know today the red category will be operating in the market.
Okay.
Tomorrow, I don't know, I'm yet to find out the number of days each card will last
All right.
in the market sector. But I'm pretty sure now that we only have a week, then they are going to go by days.
Oh,
So
I
at
see.
most, not exceed 2 days.
Okay.
Then the yellow group will take over, and it goes on like that.
So does it mean the Kumasi Central Market is open for business now?
It's open for business, but with restrictions.
Okay. Same for what, Siame and the other markets?
So I'm still underlocked.
Okay.
Dr. Mensa Market, I understand, they've now agreed with authority because per their last statement, I'm talking about the statement from the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, they were captured. So the belief is that they are also back to business.
Okay. Now, today is Easter Monday, so ideally, I'm sure that you'd expect so many people. Usually, what's Kumasi like on Easter Monday? And clearly, I'm sure that we can see a big difference when we look at the streets today.
Like what we saw in Choko yesterday. All Kumasi, our Choko is the Bosomche Lakeside.
Okay.
Or the Bosomche Lakeside. Very clean. All roads would have lead to Bosomche. Easter Monday, that's where you see a lot of bars and activities and what have you over there. But this time around, nobody is going
Nothing
there
at all.
nothing, absolutely nothing. Even yesterday was serious because, I mean, the resurrection, you see people in their white apparel after church service. They'll, look for the nearest chicken and what have you to enjoy their meal. But everybody was kept indoors.
Wow. Unbelievable. Have you had time to interact with some parents on how they're managing their kids at home? And I'm asking in relation to education. I want to know if there's been an opportunity for children to log online. Is there any online, classes going on between them and their teachers and all of that?
In some homes, you see that happening. But in the other homes, it's a bit of a difficulty. And I'm sure you understand this division or this particular thing has come as a result of where you belong as far as the social strata is concerned. So if you go to, one would say, the affluent homes, you see that kind of thing happening. But if you go to the less privileged, even if you want to access the computer, it's money. Or if you want to access the internet, it is money. I also know of certain homes who have been able to organize themselves to at least they invite teachers to come and teach their wards.
They invite teachers into the homes?
Yes,
But is that safe? Because I thought they were trying to prevent.
Yes. The few instances I've seen, or the few examples that I've seen, they adhere strictly to the social distancing. So you see about 3 children being taken through lessons.
Okay.
By the teacher. So it is not that dangerous. They are sticking to, or they're adhering to the safety measures.
Okay.
But hey, that depends on your package. If you have the money, then you'll be able to do it. If you don't have it, then you only have to keep your fingers crossed and hope that this whole thing will come to an end, so your child can also go to school and continue building his academic potential.
I see. Anyway, Evans, thank you so much for speaking to us. And I'm sure that by close of today, we'll get some more updates on what's happening in the Ashanti region. Stay safe, by the way. It's important.
Thank you.
So that was EVANS-NKUM from the Ashanti region updating us. We'll be back with more.